Hello, welcome back. We've just taught a lesson on how to describe a scatter plot, so we're going to go more in depth. But you can pause it, enter these numbers in. We're going to make a scatter plot, describe it for review. Welcome back. So this is on a basketball team, how many shots a person took and how many points they made. So this person shot 3 times but only had 2 points. That's not very good. The person that did really not very good is this person. They shot the ball 4 times but probably only made 1 basket. I mean, there's free throws involved. The person that did really, really well is down here. He shot the ball 17 times and made 40 points. That's pretty good. This person shot the ball 15 times, only made it 22 times. But there it is. That is our data. So hopefully you made a scatter plot. If not, this is how you do it. You go second, y equals. Turn on this one. Make sure only one's turned on. This is our scatter plot. Yours are probably in list 1, list 2. Mine are in list 3 and list 4. Hit graph. Zoom 9. And down here is the number of shots you made and how many points you scored. So, let's see, you want to describe this. Number 1, line or not a line. I would say that this is linear. I could draw a line here through here. This is linear. I could draw a line through here. And that looks somewhat linear. It is positively associated. The more shots you shoot, the more points you score. Not always, but generally. And lastly, how strong. We're going to talk about that actually in a minute. But I'd say it's fairly strong. It's not super strong, but it's fairly strong. It's not weak, but it's fairly strong. Okay. So that's a nice little review of describing a scatter plot. What else are we going to learn today? We're going to talk about this word called correlation. Correlation is a number that tells you 2 things. Its association, whether it's positively or negatively associated, and how strong it is. Okay? So, the letter we use for correlation is the letter R. R. Couple of things to talk about. Number 1, this R value does not tell us anything about the explanatory or response variables. Okay, it doesn't tell us anything about which one's explanatory or which one's response. That's not super important. Number 2, R has no units. This will be on the test somewhere. R is going to be a number, but it's not 0.7 centimeters. It's not 8 liters. It has no units with it up. It's not miles per gallon. Positive R means that it is positively associated. It has a positive slope. It has a positive slope. A negative R means that it is negatively associated. Has a negative slope. If R equals 1, then it's telling you our scatter plot is a perfect line, and it is in the positive slope direction. If it is negative 1, then it is a perfect line, but it has a negative slope. 5. It has to be between 2 groups of numbers. It says quantitative variables. It cannot be what is the relationship between the positions on a football team and their weight. That you can't find an R value because it would be quarterback, running back, wide receiver, linebacker. Those aren't number values. Weights are, but you need to have 2 groups of numbers. Is it resistant? We'll find that out in a second. And also, it is not the whole story. So how do we calculate this R value using our calculator? So we have this here. We're going to calculate R. If you are quick and are paying attention, I have this line that I could draw through here, and we said it was positively associated. R should be positive if I do it right. So this is how you find R. Hit stat, hit stat, then calc, then you're going to go down to number 4. Go down to number 4, linear regression, lin reg. Hit enter. If you don't do anything, yours is going to be a little different. It's going to say to list. If you don't do anything, I think it says list 1, list 2. So it assumes list 1, list 2. Now mine is list 3, list 4. So I'm going to type in list 3, list 4. Yours should be list 1, list 2. Hit enter. And your R value should be right down here, 0.945. Now, if your calculator does not have that, which many might not, this is how you get it. You only have to do this one time. I don't know why you have to, but you do. If you only have like A and B and don't have the R and R squared, you need to go down to second catalog, second 0. You're going to go all the way down to diagnostic on. So you're going to, yours will go a little faster, diagnostic on. So yours will go faster, mine, keep going, keep going, keep going, this is thrilling, keep going, keep going, should be close. Okay, diagnostic on, hit enter, hit it one more time, should say done, and now if you do the same thing again, stat, calc, number 4, lin reg, and you do list, whatever list you have them in, probably list 1, list 2, then hopefully you have exactly what I have. So, this is very close to 1. So it's saying that it is strong. It is also positive, which means that it's positively associated. So this has a positive and fairly strong linear relationship. All right, there's a couple of other things I want to show you. Is it resistant? If I plug in a number that's totally off, so like if I type in somebody shoots as a ball hog and shoots 12 times, but only makes like 2 points. I hate those players who shoot all the time, but can't score at all. Let's see what happens to R. Stat, calc. Oh, we can look at the graph. It's down here, okay, down there. Let's see if R changes. 4, lin reg. Yours is probably list 1, list 2. And R changed quite a bit. It went from 0.94 to 0.86. So the answer to the question is it resistant? No, it is not resistant. If I throw a number that doesn't belong, R is going to change a lot. And this is foreshadowing. Just because R is close to 1 does not mean it's linear, but we're going to talk more about that later. R is not the whole story. If R is close to 1, or if R is close to -1, then it's probably a line, but it's not a guarantee. I wanted to go to a website and just show you, get you familiar with what R could be. So hopefully you can see this. I'm not going to zoom in, but hopefully you can see this. Maybe you can zoom in. Let's see. This is a little applet that you can guess R values so you get practice at it. So let's see. I'm going to go to this one. What could R be? First of all, it's positive. So So it's either 0.83 or 0.61. These are pretty close together. It's not perfectly aligned, but I think that this is 0.83. So I'm going to try that. And then the other positive one, I think, is this one. So I'm going to say that that's 0.61. This one, I can barely see that there's a line, but there's kind of a line here. So it's going to be, I'm going to think that's negative 0.59. This one's pretty scattered. Maybe there's a line in there, but it's really scattered. That's negative 0.24. So let's see if I'm right. Hey, I got them all right. Let's do one more just to look at some R values. What do I think of those? I don't like those. I like this one. Which one looks most like a line? This one. So I think that's the one that's going to be closest to 1, 0.91. Which do you think is the most scattered? I think this one is the most scattered. So which one is actually closest to 0? Because 0 means completely scattered. Negative 0.32. This is negative. This is positive. So I think that this one is negative 0.46. And this one, it's starting to look like a line, 0.63. Let's see if I did them right. Hey, I did them right. If you want to practice some R, you probably won't, but if you want to practice some R, there's the website, and you can go to it. So now you know a little more about R. We'll keep reviewing it. It's called the correlation coefficient. The R value, we'll practice it, but I think you have enough information to do your homework. Here's a graph you can look at. Since this chapter we're talking about different graphs. Have a wonderful day.